Hi, I'm Amy with Santosha Yoga of Texas, and welcome to Chair Yoga for Seniors. Today we're going to be focusing on two things, hips and hamstrings. It's going to be a little bit shorter video, but hopefully we can really work these areas well to help release some tension that's being held. One thing that you'll need is going to be either a soft, long cloth belt, or a tie, or a long scarf. I'm going to set the mouse down and we'll get started. So for right now, let's go ahead and just set our belt off to the side, sit back in our chair, bring our hands to our laps, and relax our shoulders against the back of our chairs. Take some slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose, closing your eyes, relaxing the muscles along the back of your neck, inhaling fully and completely, and exhaling fully and completely. And now for the next 2 minutes, just holding your awareness to your chest, noticing your chest rising and falling with each breath that you take. And now with your next exhale, slowly take your chin downward towards your chest, holding the stretch here for a moment. And then now opening your eyes and lifting your head back up to center. All right, let's go ahead and sit forward in our chairs a little bit. Just gonna shrug the shoulders up and down a few times, warming up the upper body, shoulders, before we start to get into our lower body exercises. Last one. And now pull the shoulders forward and back. Forward, shoulder blades come towards each other. Last one. All right. Now let's bring the right toe to the floor, lifting the heel up a little bit. Just going to slide the leg slowly out to the side and bring it back to center. Out to the side and back. Four, three, two, last one. Bring your left toe to the floor in front of you. Slide out to the side and back. Four, three, two, last one. And now come back. Now take the right heel to the floor in front of you, moving into working our hamstrings a little bit. Lengthen the spine. Continue to hold that length as you come forward, leading with your heart, about 30 degrees or so until you feel resistance along the back of the leg. Make sure the toes are still flexing straight up towards the sky. And then once you've found that stopping point where you find that resistance, Relax your head. Let your chin just drop to a natural alignment so that your head isn't tilted up like this, but instead keeping a nice long line with the spine. Take one more deep breath. And inhale, lift, come back up, slide your foot back in. Left heel forward, lengthen the spine, keep the core actively engaged. Keep that spine elongated as you start to tilt forward. Relax the neck and hold the stretch, breathing deeply. One more deep breath, and lift up, slide both feet back in. All right, now we're going to take a wide seated position, legs kind of out at an angle, sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to hinge forward, again, long spinal alignment, coming forward 20 or 30 degrees. You're going to start to feel a little bit of hip rotation through here and stretching through the inner thighs and the groin. Holding that, making sure that you feel secure. Don't come too far forward where you feel like you're going to lose your balance. Slow, deep breaths, relax the shoulders. Inhale, come back up. Walk your feet back in. All right, we're going to release our back for just a moment, coming into basically a similar position to child's pose, but instead of on the floor or in the chair. So we're just going to sit back a little bit in our chair so we've got a little bit more weight anchoring us safely. And we're going to just allow the chest to come forward. You can wrap at the elbows and drop the head. Take some slow, deep breaths in and out. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit of lengthening on the muscles on either side of the spine. And then breathe in, start to lift the head back up, bring the hands back to the left. Slowly lift the head back up to center. All right, let's go ahead and get that belt or long scarf. Again, since we're sitting a little bit further back, feeling secure and grounded in our chair, we're going to take the ends of the belt down to the point where we can slide the belt or the scarf underneath the sole of our foot. And we can go ahead and take our shoulders back so we're relaxing against the back of the chair. And now, lifting the leg up to the point where we're starting to feel a little bit of a stretch in our hamstrings. It may be right here, or you may need to come up a little bit higher if you're a little bit more flexible. Just setting it where you first start to feel resistance. Take some slow, deep breaths. And now we're going to move into stretching our iliotibial band, or IAT band. Runs from the outside of the iliac crest of the hip down the side of the thigh and attaches to the tibia bone in the lower leg. So you'll feel the sensation somewhere between the hip, down the side of the thigh, or the side of the knee. And what we're going to do is just slowly start to draw that foot across the body, and you'll feel a tightness somewhere in this kinetic chain. As soon as you feel that tightness, pause. Today, I felt it right down in here. Other days, I felt it up a little bit higher. So it may just kind of vary depending on the day. And now bring it back to center. And let's go ahead and release that leg. And we'll switch to the other side. If you need to give your hands a break, Just open and close them a few times, shake them out. And taking hold of the other leg, again extending, finding that place where you feel resistance in the back of your leg. Now slowly coming across. You can hold on with two hands if you prefer. I'm just relaxing one of my hands. Come back to center and release your foot back down. All right, now we're going to work into our hips. So we're going to take hold of that right leg again, this time keeping the knee bent. And we're going to take that knee with the hands. We're going to gently kind of open up this hip and draw the knee back towards us, being mindful of how this feels. We should feel an opening sensation in the hip without pain in the knee. It may need to be adjusted. Maybe you need to come down a little bit lower. You can even come out to the side a little bit more, as opposed to up high. Feeling that nice stretch in the hip. And release. Switch to the other leg. Bend in the knee. You can pull it straight back towards you. It can come out to the side. Wherever you feel most comfortable and you're not inflicting pain upon your knee. Very important that you're mindful of this. And release. Come back down. All right. We're going to come up to standing now, still focusing on hips and hamstrings. So going ahead and moving safely beside the chair so that we can use it for as much or as little support as we need. We're going to shift our focus back to our hamstrings now that we've moved into the hips as our last exercise. So we're going to turn to face our chair seat. Stand up nice and tall. Imagine you have a yardstick on your back and you don't want it to roll off. We're going to hinge from our hips, coming forward, nice flat back, leading with your heart, reaching down for the chair seat, feeling that stretch right back here. As soon as you feel that resistance, pause right there. If you need to round your back, lift up just a tiny bit so the back isn't rounded. If you're here and you're not feeling a lot of resistance, you can start to bend at the elbows. See how that feels. Maybe come down a little bit deeper. Take some slow, deep breaths. And slowly start to lift your chest back up, taking your time rising back up to standing position. All right. Usually when we think about our hips, we think about the external rotators, the glutes, the back portion. But also, connective tissue comes up through the front of the hips as well. It's our iliopsoas right through here. A lot of times when we spend a great deal of time sitting, those muscles will start to contract and get a little bit tighter. So we want to keep them open as well. So in order to stretch our iliopsoas, we're going to do a lunge, but I want to make sure that you're doing it safely. So I'm going to turn in side profile so that you can see where my knee is aligned. I'm going to move this chair back a little bit. Now when you're doing this, you may want to keep your hand on the chair for balance. I'm moving it out of the way so that you can see my body. I want to take the right foot forward a great deal. And we want to take that left foot back. And notice that the heel of my left foot stays off the ground. This is a great big stance. My shoulders, my rib cage, and my hips are all stacked in an alignment. And then I'm going to soften my front knee, and as I do, I'm going to press my back heel away from me. I still won't reach the floor. I'm going to feel that length in my calf, but I'm also really going to feel it stretching right through that iliopsoas. Taking a slow, deep breath, hold the stretch. And then slowly start to bring both feet side by side. We're going to turn, face the other direction, left foot forward, way far forward, right leg way far back. Again, notice right now my knee is behind my ankle to start with. My back heel is off the floor, my shoulders are stacking on top of my hips, and then as I soften my front knee, notice my knee never passes my ankle bone. I'm not lunging over my toes, I'm staying with my body weight sitting right over my hips. Slow, deep breaths. And inhale, start to straighten. Step both feet back underneath your body. All right. Now we're going to do an externally rotated hip stretch. Take both feet in a nice wide stance again. Notice my toes are semi-turned out. So they're not aiming forward, but they're not straight out to the side. It's a halfway in between. We're going to take a deep breath in. If you don't feel balanced, you can keep your hands on your chair. If you feel balanced, the hands can come up into a 5-point star. We're going to bend the knees, bend the elbows, sink the hips. Notice my shoulders are staying right over my hips, just like we did in our lunge a moment ago. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. And up. Four, three, two, last one. All right, now we're going to bring our hands together or on the back of our chair. Turn our toes facing forward. Bring your hands right here or here. Now we're going to soften the knees. We're going to pull our hips back and let our chest pivot forward. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see what my torso is doing. So I'm going to pull these hips almost as if somebody's got a hold of me. Pull those hips back. Drop the chest slightly, but notice I'm not rounding my spine. I still have length, and I'm dropping those hips down nice and low. Again, you can have your hands on the chair for you if you'd like. Slow, deep breaths. And inhale, come back up. Walk your feet back underneath your body. All right. Another hamstring stretch, similar to the one that we did earlier with the heel on the floor, but this time we're going to use the chair. So if you're able, hold on to your chair and bring your foot into your chair seat. If this is not something that you feel comfortable doing, you can modify by bringing one foot to the floor in front of you and then pulling your hips back and just tilting the chest forward. Otherwise, foot in the chair, sit up tall, exhale, hip hinge forward, hold the stretch. Again, feeling it right back here in our hamstrings, keeping that spine lengthened as we come forward. Inhale, come back up. Now we're going to switch, bring the other foot onto the chair or switch and bring the foot to the floor in front of you. Lengthen your spine, exhale forward. And slowly come back up. Now we're going to do a modified downward facing dog using the chair. So I'm going to turn the chair seat so that I can get a good hold of it. I'm going to start fairly close to the chair, soften the back of my knees a little bit, hinge for my hips to reach forward and hold onto the chair. I can either grasp the edges of it like this. If you don't mind with wrist flexion, you can do a placement right here, or You can reach the fingertips out long. I'm going to choose to keep it here for today. Now I'm going to step my feet one at a time back a little bit, taking my heels off the floor, lifting my hips up, and now I'm going to keep my hips lifted, dropping my chest downward between my arms, and then slowly allowing my heels to reach towards the floor here in downward facing dog. Take some slow, deep breaths. One more big breath. Now moving my gaze towards my chair, lifting my chest up just a tiny bit. I'm going to walk slowly back in towards the chair seat, taking my time, lifting back up to center. All right. So we're going to go ahead, moving back down to our chair. Moving into one final hip stretch. Now, this hip stretch can cause a little bit of compression in the knees that may be uncomfortable, and so we want to kind of evaluate as we're choosing which pose is best for us, what our knees feel like. If you have existing knee concerns that have not been remedied, I would highly recommend crossing at your ankle, moving towards the front half of your chair and letting your knee and your hip rotate open and just keeping the stretch here. If you don't have knee problems and you haven't had hip replacement surgery and you're able to cross your leg over without having to wrench it and force it onto the top of your thigh, then place your leg on top of your thigh gently, making sure that your ankle is away from your kneecap area. So we want to have it kind of back on the nice, softer flesh of the thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Now, this may be a lot of sensation. You may be feeling a lot of hip opening, either here or here. In which case, stay right where you are and just breathe. If you're not feeling a lot of sensation from either position, you can start to lengthen your spine and bring your chest forward, just as we did with the hamstring stretches. As soon as you start to feel a little stretch sensation in the hips or in the glutes, pause right there. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Come back up. Uncross. Switching to the other side again. Make sure each of our legs feels different. Maybe one knee is more sensitive than the other. Maybe you need to stay down low and come forward from here, or just stay right there. Maybe you want to come up, just depending on what feels best for your body today. Inhale, come back up, uncross your legs. Now, let's release any tension that may be created in our back from folding forward. Hands into the lap. Deep breath in, lifting up. Let your hips, I'm going to turn sideways here. Let your hips tip back a little bit. Notice there's a little natural curve to my low back as I lift up. And then as I exhale, coming forward into cat, I pull my belly button towards the spine. The shoulders and the hips just scoop under naturally, dropping the chin just a tiny bit. Inhale, lifting back to seated cow. Exhale to cat. Come back around to the front. Deep breath in, lifting up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more sets. Last one. And come back to center. All right, for our spinal twist today, we're going to do an unbound twist, so we're not going to bind the bottom leg. We're just going to take both hands, freely set them gently onto the outside of the right thigh. Breathe in, lengthen your spine first, and then take this back shoulder, the right shoulder, and just open it a little bit, twisting through your rib cage, and just gazing to the side. holding the twist, making sure it's not painful. Exhale, come back around to the front, switching to the other side, both hands on the outside of the left thigh. Lengthen your spine first, feeling that movement through the rib cage. And come back to center. Let's go ahead and sit back in our chairs. Bring our hands to our laps. So relax our shoulders. Relax the neck. Close your eyes again. Take some slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose. As you're breathing, allow yourself to visualize your body standing in a forest. The air is cool. You're standing in the shade, but there are small rays of sunshine breaking through the arbors of the trees. Gazing up at the canopy of the trees, noticing the shapes and the colors of the different leaves that you see. Begin to notice other things around you visually, perhaps birds flying overhead, or small animals scampering from branch to branch. Imagining the sounds of the forest that you're surrounded by. Now imagining the smells, perhaps the smell of damp, crisp leaves, the cool earth, maybe a scent of evergreen in the air. Now, as you take your next exhale, allow your forest image to slowly fade from your mind. Lowering your chin down to your chest with your next exhale. Wiggling your fingers and your toes, bringing your awareness back to your body here and now. Opening your eyes and lifting your head back to center. Let's bring our hands to our heart, rubbing our palms for a moment. Truly reconnecting with our entire physical body by running our hands down the outside of our arms, our lower back, and the tops of our legs. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for Chair Yoga for Seniors. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click the subscribe button on your YouTube page so that you can follow our videos as they're published each week. Thank you, and stay safe.